Hello, Dota 2 fans, and welcome to another edition of the National Cup by ProDota. We've got Portugal versus Yugoslavia today. Moritz, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. With me, the one, the only Mike Loris. We will be your English coverage for at least this first game of the day. Mike, you looking forward to anything in this matchup?
I really want to see Portugal because Yugoslavia, or I guess Team Yugoslavia, for the most part have played together in quite an extensive manner, like My Insanity at least. I'm not sure if that's most recent, but they're like at some point actually a real team, whereas for Portugal, I'm not really sure. Not much is known about these players in general, so I'm interested to see how they are actually going to fare, but unfortunately I can't stay with you for that long since we are so late, so I'll just make sure that you get through the draft just fine. Yeah,
Portugal, please. Showing up a little bit late, so lacking on the reserve time department, as you can see already. But yeah, as you mentioned, 4 players other than Lacoste all played together in MY Insanity. 3 of them, I believe, right now are in Angry Balkan Beavers. Maybe odes to Balkan Bears recently, but yeah, so these players certainly very comfortable with one another. Both teams actually sitting in a position in the group where they can take second place, and in fact Yugoslavia can take first, so a lot rides on this series. The team that goes 2-0 has a good shot at making it through beyond the group stage into the playoffs, but already we're going to see that first pick Alk come out for Yugoslavia.
Ooh, an Alchemist. If you can get your hands on Alk nowadays, you go ahead and grab him. I've been kind of unimpressed with Alchemist as of late, but then again, you just need the right environment for the hero. He can power farm like no other. He is going to be, if all goes according to plan, on top of the net worth chart, and is a hero that may force Portugal into going for an Ancient Apparition. It's not really the worst deal in the world to go for that, but no, it's a Skywrath Mage instead, first pick. That's interesting. I don't think I've seen that, at least not yet in this patch.
A lot more interesting than the Alchemist, to say the least. Queen of Pain, definitely see that in the opening phase pretty often, but very interesting pickup here. Burst heavy against the Alchemist is understandable, to say the least. Not sure if the Skywrath pick is quite warranted. Maybe they want to put him up in that mid lane early. Has quite a bit of poke, obviously, early on. To kind of zone out that Alchemist before he's able to get up anything like a Chemical Rage. So, yeah, interesting pickup to say the least. We'll see how it ends up panning out. Ancient Seal already could be a little bit valuable up against the Dazzle, but in essence, Dazzle counters up this Skywrath Mage. If you're able to drop that Grave before the Mystic Flare, Skywrath Mage generally doesn't have much left in the tank after expending that. So, yeah, it's an interesting pickup. It's something that me and you definitely would have expected much later in the draft, but we'll see if Portugal has a plan around it.
I would expect them to try to get a Clockwork at the very least. Like, obviously any stun into Mystic Flare is going to be probably good enough to get those kills because Flare just does such a ridiculously high amount of damage. If you can get the jump on Alchemist when he has his ultimate down, you probably can get the kill with the Skywrath Mage, since Alchemist typically doesn't build a hell of a lot of HP. But again, those timings are going to be few and far between. Skywrath Mage has to find the perfect angle, he has to find the perfect timing, and that always is just not guaranteed to happen. So I'm looking at a Clockwork at the very least. I like the Ancient Apparition ban. Team Yugoslavia going to make sure to protect their Alchemist and, to a lesser extent, their Dazzle.
Yeah. Wyvern ban. Of course, Winter's Curse synergizes well with both the Queen of Pain and Skywrath Mage, so also a pretty wise one from Yugoslavia, and it seems like they've done their homework at least thus far. PL ban is a little bit of another interesting one for me. Don't feel like he's nearly as strong as he was a patch or two ago, and I mean, yeah, I'm not sure how greedy of a lineup Yugoslavia is willing to assemble here, already having picked up the Alchemist, needing their PL to have quite a bit of farm as well. So he's not an Aghanim's carrying carry either, so not someone that would be buffed up by the Alchemist to mitigate that lack of farm, since Alchemist is so omnipresent across the map, often when he goes for that Manta Octarine build. So interesting ban in the PL as well, but Tusk, Earthshaker, Doom certainly warranted recently in the meta.
Look at all those cold heroes being banned out by Yugoslavia. You don't want any part of that.
So much hate.
Yeah. Clockwork, again, seems pretty easy here for the Team Portugal side. Alternatively, they could leave it in the pool, but I'm pretty sure Team Yugoslavia will be not adverse to grabbing that themselves. Ooh, there's another combo. A little bit more rare to see, as Legion Commander is more hit or miss,
Yeah.
but does really damn well with the Skywrath Mage, and also does roll with the Queen of Pain. There's a lot of burst damage, but now we have a Night Stalker here. It seems like Legion Commander may have a tough time actually killing off her duel victims, even
Yeah.
with the Skywrath Mage.
Seems like Yugoslavia is kind of one step ahead of Portugal, or maybe more appropriately, Portugal seems one step behind. I mean, Legion Commander is a hero that really relies on snowballing. I mean, has an ability that embodies what it means to snowball and getting that dual damage. And up against a Dazzle, it's always not an easy matchup. Up against the Chemical Rage of an Alchemist, it's going to be hard to burst him down, or you're going to have to be totally reliant on bursting him down as opposed to a little bit of sustained damage. Night Stalker, a tanky target, as you mentioned, having the Crippling Fear as well. To silence up the supporting cast of the LC. I really don't feel like, I mean, there's obvious synergy, as you mentioned, between the Skywrath and the Legion, but I really don't feel like this is a situation where you want to go Legion up against the opening of Yugoslavia. So we'll see how it fares, and we'll also see whether or not this is a one-position Legion. Of course, with the Lich coming out, could easily be a dual offlane.
I don't know what the plan is here for Team Yugoslavia, but I love it, man. Pudge, well, okay. Pudge is probably going to go towards mid, right? Or we sometimes see safe lane Pudges, but like, okay, Alchemist mid, Pudge safe, probably.
So the question is, I mean, I guess both of them could be core in essence, but usually we'll see one of these Night Stalkers or Pudges. One of the Night Stalker or Pudge in the 4 role. It could be a Night Stalker offlane, Alch mid, Pudge safe for sure. But do you want to give safe lane farm to your Pudge? That's the question.
I think they would like to have a support who can very easily go in and replace the Pudge once Pudge gets that like level 7, 6-ish mark, when he could actually start rotating around.
Right.
Like having Pudge grab that level, having Night Stalker once he gets to minute 12 for that second nighttime phase, both roam around, means that they can go and kill any given Team Portugal hero super easily, even if they miss a hook. Like, it's not a big deal. Just walk in, rot them, and with the Crippling Fear on like Queen of Pain, you just can't get away. So what support is that? I think that's the real question.
Well, I guess it's got to be something that transitions a little bit. Spirit Breaker kind of stands out to me. He synergizes fairly well with the NS in terms of having that chase potential. Yeah, anyone else in lane who is kind of greedy, maybe a Visage seems like a little bit of a pocket pick, but we already have quite a few of those. So it's going to be one of these 4-position Night Stalker or Pudge. And they're going to go a little bit safer. I think Razor is a pure isolation pick in response to the Lifestealer. Not sure that Yugoslavia was exactly planning on picking this up.
Lifestealer right now, pretty good against Pudge and Night Stalker, very resistant to both those heroes. Versus Alchemist, kind of mediocre. Like, as far as killing him off, you definitely can do it as Lifestealer, but Alchemist is a hero with a lot of regen, not a lot of max health, so Feast is, kind of average skill there. As far as Lifestealer's ability to get into those fights and be unpunished, Queen of Pain is a pretty okay target. Let's just say no Queen of Pain. No Storm Spirit, rather, but not a Clockwork either. But still, Lifestealer in direct response to this Pudge, expecting to be under a lot of pressure. I don't hate this. The Portugal side can get a lot of momentum with these heroes and then just non-stop roll Team Yugoslavia.
And I feel like their offlane should fare pretty well, being... overlay, boys. Being the Legion Lich, most likely, and there's no one that can really pressure them too hard in this lane, safe lane for the Radiant side, being that they have either a Pudge or a Night Stalker in a 4 role, which is obviously a melee hero. So they should be able to kind of get away with this greed, I feel. Lifestealer, Skywrath Mage, not bad in their own right. Skywrath Mage should be able to zone out the offlaner enough for the LS to find farm. So yeah, Portugal certainly have a chance in this one, despite being 30% underdogs over on eSport Gaming.
Well, just if it does come down to it, you got to look at the Aghanim Scepters, because, you have to. There are pretty darn good ones on Team Yugoslavia right now. Like, Pudge is never going to actually be able to afford an Aghanim Scepter, and if he is able to, he doesn't want it, because there are just better items to get. Razor always gets it. Night Stalker always gets it. Dazzle, again, can't afford it, but would love one. If Alchemist does go for that, I'm going to go for Octarine, Manta Style, Radiance, and Power Farm the hell out of everything build, he can actually boost his team up by an outrageous amount.
Yeah, definitely so. And an early Night Stalker or Razor Ags can do quite a bit of work in this one. If the Razor is able to build into a BKB at any point before that Aghanims comes out for him, then the Blade Mail, presumably that'll come out from LC, is really nothing to be concerned about. And more often than not, he's going to be a very difficult dual target to bring down. So, yeah, as you mentioned, definitely drafting around the Alchemist for Yugoslavia. But either way, we can hop into this one, I guess, while we're paused and introduce the teams over on the MYI or Yugoslavia side. We've got Grizine playing on the Alchemist. It's going to leave Lacoste on that support Pudge. Cole probably going to go towards the mid lane. So there's a safe lane on that Razor. Mitch, or Z-Maj, as some of you may know him, is going to be playing up on that Night Stalker, and that's going to leave Booktop on the Dazzle.
And for the Team Portugal side, Hendrix is on the Queen of Pain. We got Run Noobs Run on the Lifestealer. I love that name on that hero.
Yeah,
Chow is on the
appropriate.
Skywrath Mage. K-Dota is on the Lich with something that looks like should be on a Juggernaut, that mask. Destro is on the Legion Commander. I have no idea what's going on with these cosmetics from Team Portugal. These, like, especially this Lich, like, come on, dude. That is
Just
so
threw them
Juggernaut-esque.
together. Just threw them together. Gotta love the mix and match sets and the cosmetics. It's gonna be a 5-man movement early. Yeah, Run Noobs Rub. Pretty apt name on the Lifestealer for sure. We'll definitely use that when he casts Open Wounds at some point. But he's naked. No cosmetics for the LS. Sad times. 5-man smoke. Down to the south. And we'll see if they're able to find fruit with this one. Looks like, if anything, Mitch is going to be the front runner for the Radiant side.
I'm not really sure if the Dire should be looking for this. Like, obviously getting First Blood is better than not, but I mean, as good as Skywrath Mage is, you really don't want to get Frost Blast level 1 as Lich. And if they do run into someone, they will have to get Frost Blast if they really want to get the kill. It looks like it's not really going to be a big problem since everyone else on the other side is, well, chilling on top lane. But Razor is an absolute monster at level 1 because Static Link is just that ridiculous. Pudge is actually pretty decent as well with Rot, and he does have boots first, so escaping that Rot, not going to happen. If they do post up, however, on this hill, they may intercept whoever's going to go down to the safe lane.
Yeah. For now, Destro gonna park his bottom over on the high side of the Dire side of the map, and everyone gonna posture up somewhat aggressively. But yeah, as you mentioned before, not gonna find anything of value. Looks like for now, Cole actually gonna walk over to the off lane on this Razor, and perhaps look to pressure that Lifestealer a bit. Lacoste for now gonna go back towards that safe lane alongside Mitch's Night Stalker. So it's gonna be a dual melee lane in the safe lane up against presumably what is a Lich LC, and that is the case right now for the laning configuration. Feels a little bit weak for the Radiant side.
Yeah, I don't really see any scenario where the Radiant are going to be able to decisively win this lane. Like, 2 melees versus Lich, that already is really bad for the melee heroes. And add a Legion Commander, who's more than okay trading hits, even though has overwhelming odds level 1, perhaps not expecting this particular lane, is going to be able to grab just 1 point moment of courage. Like, once you have that, you can trade hits all day with these 2 heroes. And for Pudge, well, at least for him, he's going to have a pull camp. That's a little bit unfortunate for the die that doesn't block. But you know, the trade-off is, of course, that Lifestealer is up against a Razor up towards top. And Lifestealer really doesn't have many answers to Razor at all.
Right. Yeah, sitting pretty tanky too is Cole. So Skywrath Mage not going to be too super effective, at least beyond these early couple of levels. And Mitch right now is solo in lane, and obviously is going to have a rough time picking up CS, but already has 3 to his name, so doing admirably well. Lacoste sits in the jungle, committing a couple pulls.
The full jungling Doom, Pudge rather, jeez, why did I say Doom? He does have, again, boots first. What is going on mid? How did these two switch spots? Grizine is, well, gonna go up against Hendrix 1 versus 1. This is actually a pretty tough lane for the Alchemist. He does have his bottle already, since Bounty Rune gives you just so much gold. But still, the never-ending poke of Shadow Strike is something that Alchemist really does struggle up against, at least until he gets level 6. Then he probably won't die to the Shadow Strike, but then Queen of Pain should have Sonic Wave, and you might just get bursted down. So it's going to be a rough lane for the Alchemist to sit comfortably. He'll still get his last hits sometimes with the Acid Spray, but more interestingly, we have bottom lane Lacoste. Level 1 Hook. Time to do things. Level 2 Pudge. Here we go.
Mitch taking a little bit of chip damage with the Frost Blast there from K. But we'll have to back off for now, and well, timely so. Lacoste going to pick up himself a Haste Rune. And a lot of damage done mid to Hendrix. He's walking back perhaps looking for a bottle, but doesn't actually have enough gold for it yet. Sitting on 666 at this point. So Hendrix playing very safe bottom lane. Radiant actually didn't have any vision of that, so some smart play. Lacoste, yep. In the faces of K and Destro, but not going to find anyone just now. I guess Mitch not in range for a void. Stop casting the hook for now. Going to take an overwhelming odds. And oh, the intimidation factor is real.
God, even just casting a game with Pudge is so stressful, man. Just like, you gotta always watch the hero, because he can insta-kill people, or, I mean, maybe not at this point, being only level 2 and as like a pseudo-support, but you can make kills happen out of lanes where there shouldn't really be kills available, so gotta pay attention to Lacoste.
Destro's decent.
Yeah, I mean, Hendrix is gonna be fine. He does have some pretty decent coverage, seeing the Pudge rotate in and out of his own jungle, so the Pudge is gonna have to have an Invis rune as soon as this ward times out. Probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, doubtful. I mean, it's hard to say who really is the beneficiary of this laning configuration thus far. I mean, the LS has had his farm stifled pretty heavily, so that is kind of a big win thus far for the Radiant. And Razine's starting to hold his own now that he's leveling up that acid spray. Mid lane. Mitch is going to catch a Frost Blast and overwhelming odds bot lane, and quite a bit of harass after that. Of course, the dire vision near this small camp doesn't block up the camp, but does give them information about Lacoste whereabouts.
Plasma Field, Edsies.
Yeah.
Lightning, good against the flying type Scarif Mage, obviously, but stealing all the damage away from Lifestealer, and he can't really help out up against like this Razor. Like, open wounds is a pretty good slow, I guess, but as fast as Scarif Mage is, he's just not fast enough to outrun Lightning.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, but you got a Pokemon reference in there. Bottom lane.
I do it all the time, dude. Just gotta pay attention for him.
Destro posturing up aggressively, trying to find Lacoste here. He's got boots on the Pudge, though, so we'll be able to walk himself to the north. Unto safety, and gonna secure his mid laner that 4-minute rune. See if it ends up being the bounty rune for this alchemist, and it is, luckily so. So he'll pick up a good chunk of gold there. Like 250 already, 4 minutes in. 1400 gold on the out, and now chasing back Destro. They have the void available. The hook is there as well. Just gonna use the rot for now. Frostpass will be on to 2. Hook comes through. Destro getting low. Acid spray is there. Should tick him down, and will do so. Lacoste actually gonna be the one to find the last hit. So no extra little bit of Grievel's greed gold there, but either way, works out for the Radiant side. 2-0. 4.5 minutes in.
Gruzin's going to bounce back to the fountain, juice up, and probably return mid. It was actually a pretty difficult hook for Lacoste to land. Being with so many melee heroes in lane, well, typically your hook angles are going to get a little bit blocked, but Night Stalker, now in the first nighttime phase, probably can't go for this Legion Commander. However, can just poke at this Lich. Has 10 stick charges because of the Lich's constant spamming of skills, so he has quite a deep mana pool, and if it's not the Night Stalker that's going to be worrying Team Portugal, it's up towards top where Cole and Victor are just going to town on this Lifestealer who is going to lose a lot of damage, may even die here.
Yeah, they seem to be playing a little bit tentatively, but little do they know that Skyrath Mage is present in mid lane, so really no support available for Run Noob's Run at this point. Regardless, he's going to have his damage gimped quite a bit and won't be able to last hit. Bot lane, they're going to find the Lich, and Destro's next on the menu. And all of a sudden, this combo of the Pudge and Night Stalker is starting to get really scary in this bottom lane. Felt like the dual lane would have fared much better versus Yugoslavia, but Lacoste already making his presence known here. And even in the mid lane, where Hendrix is supposed to be drawing even at least, if not doing well, I mean, he just picks up his level 6 now, and the Alk is sitting on the same experience, even having rotated bottom. So
the scariest thing for Team Portugal is that nighttime is still very young. It's only about halfway done. And Mitch is level 5, almost pushing level 6. He has his urn flying out to him, so as far as Night Stalkers go, this is probably the best that you can hope for the first nighttime phase. I mean, it's no pub game. You're not going to be steamrolling everyone who's completely oblivious, but still for Mitch right now, this is, again, not his peak of strength. It's really second nighttime phase, which determines the game flow for the Night Stalker. And by that time, he'll at least have upgraded boots, probably be working on another item as well. That's going to be really hard for Team Portugal to hold against.
Yeah, definitely so. And all the meanwhile, while he creates space, I mean, Grazine is just going to find worlds of farm on this Alchemist. They seem to be baiting bottom lane as the Skyrath Mage is there, but if Lacoste hits a hook shot, just barely missing K. Overwhelming odds comes through, concussive shot, Frost Blast is there. Mitch slowed, but nighttime move speed will give him more than enough with 2 levels in Hunter in the night to be able to outdistance Destro here. Kabuktok coming through, They're trying to bait out the Night Stalker perhaps. They get the hook into the tower range. The rod is there. Dota dropping low. He'll be the first to fall. Lacoste still tanky. Grave goes out on the Pudge. Destro is next on the menu. Cole rotating through, double kill for Pudge in the bot lane. Mitch picks up one as well, and it is a disaster in the Eastern Hemisphere of the map for Portugal. 7-0, 7 minutes in, a kill a minute, and Grazine has done nothing but sit mid and free farm this entire time.
Holding a lot of gold. I mean, most alchemists nowadays, I think, go for Radiance. There are a couple of exceptions. But in this game, when you're this far ahead, he could honestly just go for anything right now. Just, like, even stop... Well, okay, they're going to lose the Dazzle. Stop leveling Greevil's Greed, stop leveling Spray, and just start getting Concoction, start participating in this action. Obviously, he doesn't really want to be doing that, but he can be doing that because they're so far ahead. They're going to go deep now for the Lich. Lacoste, angle, not quite there, but they'll beat down Dota anyway. For yet another kill, and in just 15 seconds, nighttime will end. But in that 15 seconds, Run Noobs Run is going to try to kill the Night Stalker. Again, that's just not going to happen. This dude is way too fast. Although Hendrix cutting him off, okay, this will happen. Never mind, Scream of Pain, and the Night Stalker will finally fall. That's a huge kill for the Queen of Pain.
I kind of expected him to drop himself a positive urn charge as soon as that open wounds came out, but not sure if he would have survived regardless. I mean, Queen of Pain has quite a bit of burst to her name already with that level 4 Scream, so... Yeah, Night Stalker trading over, but... I mean, still finding space. This is the first couple of kills that Portugal find, so it's certainly nice for them. Cole's returned, meanwhile, though, to the top lane. Has picked up Treads and Aquila, and will be able to bring down this safe lane tower, presumably, very quickly here.
Alright, I don't want to seem bored with this game or anything, but now I'm going to have to leave you alone because I have my own game starting up. So good luck, Portugal. They're going to need it. Wait, one more hook for the road. Oh, no, Charles going to dodge it. Never mind. Okay, you're on your own, dude.
Unfortunate. But thank you, obviously, for joining us, guys. Mike Loris, the one, the only top lane Cole. Going to get into a man fight with Run Noobs Run. And against the Lifestealer, not exactly what you want to be doing. Only has 14 damage stolen. Cole could be in a bit of trouble here. Phase Boots cooling down for the Lifestealer. Doing a little bit of a wrap around the tree, ring around the rosy. Pocket full of posy. Gonna turn around on the Lifestealer. The poison touches there. The plasma field. He's gonna have to be forced to infest into a friendly creep. And it looks like the Radiant are aware of that. He's gonna jump forward and try to find it with the rotations in from Hendrix. The Grave is there, though. No way to cancel this TP. Book top. Valiantly so, gonna save his Razor and gonna pay with his life for this one. So Dazzle, oh, actually sticks up. Shadow Wave is there, and Run Noobs Run turned for it, but they will be able to get him, although he'll take quite a bit of harass underneath the tower. And Lifestealer gonna be just fine for now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You guys are just joining us. Yugoslavia, Radiant side. Whereas, of course, Portugal on the Dire, and Lacoste has gotten very active early on this Pudge. 4-0-2 thus far. The Night Stalker looking good as well. Taking a look at the KDAs, pretty heavily led by the Radiant side. Cole taking his, almost taking his first build top lane, and the Dazzle doing so in his place. But Grazine farming very well on the Alchemist, almost enough for that relic. With this stack, we'll have quite a bit in excess of that. So first nighttime expiring here, and second to come fairly soon in a couple of minutes. And for that time, we'll probably see the Radiant be a little bit passive here. And both sides kind of content to farm up for a bit. Run Noobs Run retreated to the jungle, where he has now lost his safe lane tower, unfortunately. And Mitch gonna rotate over to this bot lane, where it looks like they're offensively posturing up, perhaps, to take him out. And smoke comes through. Patral has that concussive shot. Mitch, though, with some great game sense, and perhaps Dota giving that one away a little bit much. And Bounty Rune, bot Bounty Rune, excuse me, going to be secured by the Alchemist, who's been very fortunate with Bounty Runes thus far. Bot lane, though, they're going to catch out Mitch. Ancient seal him up, duel him, hook shot. Gonna save him from Lacoste. And duel not over. Mitch probably gonna fall here regardless. But he gets graved up. He's gonna be able to TP out. The Skywrath Mage goes down to the plasma field. And the rotations thus far have been on point from the Radiant side. Hookshot gonna be wayward, directed towards Destro. And he's gonna try and rotate out now. Hendrix coming through. He's got the Sonic Wave available. They need to be careful not to group up here. Scream of Pain comes through. Sonic Wave will be there to bring down the Razor. It's going to whiff completely. No, it hits on the Pudge, but he'll be just fine for now. Cole dropping low. Is the hook shot there? It is not. Pudge unable to save his comrade, and if he did, Blink Forward Scream of Pain would have killed them both off. So smart play from the Pudge to hold on to that one there. Booktop has the Grave cooling down in 6 seconds, juking, but he finds Hendrix here, and Ancient Seal on top of the Scream of Pain will secure his death. So the dire side, Portugal, taking advantage of this second daytime phase. And we'll be able to punish them. Third daytime, I should say. Ancient Seal up onto Mitch, but he always gets the Void off onto Petrao. Needs one more right click to bring him down. The Crippling Fear is there. Onto the Queen of Pain. Rock comes through with Lacoste Dismember. They'll bring down the Queen of Pain. And now with this nighttime move speed, Dota. Maybe he finds himself a double damage. No, he doesn't. Void is there. Unstable Concoction. One right click from Mitch. 3 down in that bottom lane. And the dire side, Portugal, overstaying their welcome, unfortunately. Gonna give the double damage over to this Night Stalker. He's gonna be able to bottle himself up. And definitely something you want to do as a Night Stalker. Sustain yourself across the map. Don't want to be going back to base here too early. Can pick up an Ogre Club fairly soon if that's what he opts for here. Having an Alchemist on his side isn't going to force him into an Aghanim's Rush. And perhaps he goes something like a Sange. Maybe just straight into that BKB. Dire side not with too many answers to this BKB. Do have the duel, of course, and the Frost Nova to an extent. Chain Nova, I should say, to an extent to slow him down, but Night Stalker with a BKB, you're going to have more or less free reign in this game. A couple of overlapping wards here, mid lane. Going to give information to both sides, and Booktop finding a little bit of space mid lane on the Dazzle is level 6, so ahead of Petrao on that Skywrath Mage. And sitting pretty right now altogether is the Radiant side. Infest Bomb queued up onto that Queen of Pain, and Hendrix Reborn, please. Middle follow camera is not exactly sharp or precise, but Destro baiting himself bot lane, and it looks like the Radiant side are going to take the bait, but will they kill him off fast enough? Unstable Concoction going to come through. There's the Void as well. The Crippling Fear is going to be popped onto the LC. Sonic Wave through 2. The reaction is imminent and plentiful from the dire side. The duel comes up, but Mitch may win this one, and he's going to find the raw damage. Plasma Field comes through, kills off the Lich as well. Mitch running for his life here. Earn Charge is going to be there, but he'll drop to Run Noobs Run, who will leave himself completely vulnerable in the trees, and brought down. Double kill for the Razor. Meanwhile, Hendrix is able to back himself out, finding the kill on the Pudge, it seems. 3 for 2 overall in that bot lane, and considering that the trap was set by the dire side, it goes fairly well for the Radiant. Hendrix now, speaking of trap, in a little bit of a precarious position. Booktop not going to walk forward here. Cole with the ultimate pop will have his SNY up soon. Did Mitch buy out before dying? It seems that he didn't. So unfortunately, Mitch losing pretty significant amount of gold there. Petrao going to find some space mid lane. Will have that Mystic Flare available now on the Skywrath Mage. Is dirt poor at this point, just with a null tally and boots. Travels and Radiance, 1200 gold already up for Grzine. Things looking good, certainly, for their side. Bottom lane, looks like there could be some action here. Cole definitely tanky enough to sustain a combo from the Queen of Pain without this Aghanim Scepter, but she is only 350 gold away from that Aghanim Scepter is Hendrix, so gonna play pretty safe right now, waiting for support to come in tow. Mitch could be in a bit of trouble here top lane. We'll find out. Petrao can kill him off, but the duel is nearby, and they'll get the Ancient Seal off first. Here comes the Mystic Flare on top of the duel. Mitch very tanky, but gets downed in time. Second duel when going to Destro's way. Of course, 10 damage on the Night Stalker from that loss earlier, but certainly is nice for Destro to pick up. Has that Blink Dagger available as well. Lacoste maybe going to be able to hook him underneath tower, but right now things perhaps can stagnate. Going to take a look at this Alchemist, guys. Bear with me for a second. I'm going to throw up a flag here so that you guys are aware who is who. Please no action. Please no action. Yugoslavia. Gonna be on the Radiant side for now. No action yet. I'll throw up Portugal's side whenever there's a lull as well. Seems like we might get that right now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Portugal. Alrighty.
Dire's bottom tower is
Back
under
in we
attack.
go. And a little bit of a lull in the action here, as is expected from the Radiant side. They've been very diligent about using their night times effectively, and unfortunately, as the last one ends, Mitch gonna get dropped in that top lane. Does go for the Vit booster here, so very interesting. Is this gonna be a Rod of Aoi for him? Doesn't feel like any of the soul booster items are really that great. I mean, Octarine Core not bad for Darkness, of course, and his Void already with a fairly low cooldown at 8 seconds. Will be dropped to 6. Destro has the Blink Dagger available. Going to jump forward brazenly underneath the tier 1. Needs to be careful not to get dismembered. Coming through with the Unstable Concoction. He's going to get sealed up, though. Will stun himself. Is Grazine jumping forward. Mitch pops the Nighttime. He's going to get the Crippling Fear off. The Mystic Flare trying to keep him at bay. And Hendrix will be able to back up because of it. Radiance coming through, though, doing a lot of tick damage for Grazine. And it's going to force the Queen of Pain, and for that matter, the most of the Dire lineup back. Hendrix going to catch a Scream of Pain here. Unstable Concoction goes through. Is going to fly and bounce. Will get Hendrix. They'll secure the tower, though, as they back off the Dire lineup. And Mitch going to run around here. Jump forward. Hook shot barely missing from the Pudge. So, if nothing else, going to dissuade that Portugal side from a fight. Full S&Y up on the Razor, looking good at this point. Second on the net worth. Not exactly where you expect an aggressive dual lane Razor to be at this point. So, early game has gone very swimmingly for the Radiant side. Force staff up onto Lacoste. Mitch, as mentioned before, with that Vit booster, looking pretty tanky. They're going to need more than just a Mystic Flare duel. Bring him down. Hendrix has the Infest Bomb queued up. The Plasma Field barely short to scouting him out. He'll glyph this up, and the Unstable Concoction will go out onto K-Do to jump forward. Hook shot finds him. Lacoste with a nice play. Sonic Wave through 2. But the Alchemist got the Chemical Rage. He'll regen this back up, and the Eye of the Storm brings down the Queen of Pain. They'll be able to do up. Lacoste should bring him down here. Mystic Flare will secure the kill. Win for the LC, but he falls shortly thereafter. Triple kill going the Razor's way as the Lifestealer goes down. 4 for 1 in this bot lane, plus a tower. Eye of the Storm queued up to push the wave. Of course, isn't an Aghanims one just yet. But 94 damage stolen. Vanguard up on the Night Stalker. Should have known that. Vanguard. Derp. Actually, kind of would have liked to see the Octarine Core better on the Night Stalker. Drop that cooldown from nighttime from 80 seconds to 60. But regardless, Mitch looking good right now, as is Cole, and they'll be the only ones left here to take out this tower as Grazine continues to farm. Octarine Core going to come out for him surely after this Manta at some point. And this is a pretty potent build, guys, altogether. I mean, the deal with Manta Octarine, if you guys aren't familiar with this build, is it basically makes you a Naga Siren who gets twice the gold for farming that quickly. 100% uptime on your Manta's illusions, and with the Radiance, allows you to farm very well. Of course, Grievel's Greed, very nice as well. And the split push presence is pretty much permanent if you want it to be on this Alk. So, Octarine Core, definitely a reasoning for that build. Unstable Concoction be channeled up. Hendrix going to catch it. And Bounty Rune secured by Grazine. That's all he wanted. Wasn't really worried much about the Queen of Pain. Picks up that Bounty Rune. And a whole plethora of gold there. Double damage rune, bot. Gonna be saved and probably given to the Alchemist here as they walk in with this medallion on Booktop. They kind of have everything they need to fight. Acid Spray and the medallion here. -6 armor onto the Roshan. Grazine gonna wait for his Chemical Rage maybe. Does pop it now. Will Manta up for vision. And secure this Roshan.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Age is going to be picked up there by the Razor. Understandably so. Picks up that plate mail as well. And sitting on a 23 armor right now with the Aquila plate mail and the S&Y. Cole is very tanky with the level 3 unstable current. You're going to throw a Poison Touch out. Back off run, noobs run, and top lane, Grazine could be in a bit of trouble. Hendrix here with the Aghanim Scepter. He's actually going to back off just in time before Destro rotates in. Meanwhile, mid lane, they bring down the Lich.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And the tier 2. And maybe they look to poke high ground now with the numbers advantage. Certainly they do. Nighttime, numbers advantage. Poking away at that high ground. Aegis on their side as well. 6 versus 4 right now. TPing in is Grazine with those bots. Pops up his Chemical Rage. Hook shot is going to land onto Destro. Finds him up. Plasma Field is there. Unstable Concoction to finish the job. And now 2 heroes on the sidelines for the next 5 seconds. Lich going to be up soon, but it'll be a little bit too little too late, it seems. Ancient Seal going to keep the Pudge back from hooking anyone else. Mystic Flare going to bring him real low. Grave is there from Buktok. Sonic Wave comes through. It's too early, though, to bring down this Pudge. And Crimson Guard pop with the Shallow Grave as well. Lifestealer going to have to infest, but the Eye of the Storm, one last right click is there from Cole. Unstable Concoction thrown out at the Lich. Hawk shot from range! And Lacoste has been beasting on this Pudge. 7-2-7 thus far. 3 heroes down in the base, full lane of racks, 22 minutes in. Yugoslavia proving the public right, 70% favorite right now. Lincoln Sphere to come out soon for this Pudge. He has everything he wants at this point. Shivas can be finished up soon for Cole if that's what he wants. AC can come out as well. And if he gets an early Aghanims from this Alchemist, definitely expect the AC over the Shivas for that extra push. Already with Elena Rax down, though. He can go any item he wants. Crimson Guard completed up by Mitch there. They're going to smoke in mid lane. Crippling Fear won't be in range. Hendrix with the short range blink to the high ground. We'll be able to get it off, though. Plasma Field is there as well. Press the attack. Going to remove that silence. Hendrix going to walk back. Chain Nova bouncing very nicely through the Radiant side, and the duel will be queued up onto Mitch. Do they have enough burst to bring him down? It doesn't feel like they do. Even with the Mystic Flare, it's not there. Sonic Wave comes through. LC goes down beforehand, though. Crimson Guard popped up by Mitch. Run, Noobs, run. Not nearly with enough damage to bring him down. Hookshot going to be a little bit late to save him. Static Link coming through. Shiva's just completed up from Cole. No Infest available to Run, Noobs, run. He's going to drop to the Eye of the Storm. Hendrix on the sidelines need to back the hell out and get out of dodge. And Radiant running over the Scourge right now. Dire side in a very grim situation. Just missed the fight recap there. What a pleb. Second tier 3 of the game gonna go down, and Lena Rack soon to follow, it seems. Grazine with that Octarine Manta, not worried about anything. 35-second cooldown on that Chemical Rage. Stands up in the front lines underneath his Acid Spray. Gonna pop the Manta here. Just gonna back off the Skywrath as well as the Queen of Pain. Take out that melee Rax. And Hendrix a little bit far forward here. We'll be able to blink back with the press the attack. Keeping him healthy. But that's all they really need is this melee Rax. They'll chip away at this range Rax as long as they can take it for free. Jump forward, hook shot, finds the Queen of Pain. He will be able to blink short range. Dismember not there in time from Lacoste, but still creating space. Jump forward, duel will be there from the LC. Are they going to turn this? No, she does get the dual damage, but will die shortly there after Godlike Streak for the Razor. Triple kill going Cole's way, and if GG isn't called soon, I don't know what good game means. 2 lanes of Rax. Patral throwing in the towel. Game 1. Taken in convincing fashion with a support Pudge. Nightsucker Pudge dual safe lane. Coming out for the Radiant side. Yugoslavia there. Really showing why they are comfortable with one another. GD Puerto Rico. I don't know what that even means from Booktop. Dazzle with some really clutch Graves in this one as well. Everyone holding their own from the Radiant lineup. Really good laning stage for them. Excellent decision. Bit of a disaster for Portugal. It's not like they had bad lanes. Top lane certainly was at a disadvantage, but bot lane should have done much better than it did. And Lacoste and Mitch make them pay. And some great rotations throughout the game from Cole's Razor. So all together, guys. Oops. Should have put you there. Back for game 2 soon. Morage, please